Hi, my name is Lindsay McPherson, and I'm the College and Career Readiness Counselor here at Taylor County High School, and we're doing another Career Spotlight video. So I've got with me Chad Sullivan of Sullivan Farms, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his career and how he got into it. So, Chad, can you tell us your official job title?
My official job title is farmer.
Okay. And then describe your job, the job of a farmer.
Basically, I take care of the crops and livestock and try to grow food, fuel, and fiber for America, for people.
And you own your own farm? You're the
I do.
owner?
We own, with my dad, we own a farm on the northern part of Taylor County and southern part of Marion County, and we farm ground all over the county, lease a lot of acres around different places for corn and soybeans.
Okay. What type of education did you have to be qualified for this job?
To be qualified, I'm not sure that anything that I did was really necessary for it, but I think that it's very important to have a college degree for the way that agriculture is today. We have a lot of agronomy challenges and a lot of things that you have to understand as far as use of chemicals and the safe use of them, and when we're vaccinating cattle, and just it's not so much what we learned in college, it's it's the way that you learn to learn that you get when you go to college. And I think that's very important, because now when I get information from that, I can, if it's, that I use so many cc's of a drug for cattle and it has to be metabolized through their system and have a 45-day withdrawal period, understand that process and that you take the steps necessary to make sure that that product is safe for consumers to have in the food system. So I think that's important. I think anybody that's going into ag needs to probably have a college degree now.
Where did you go to college?
I went to the University of Kentucky. I majored in ag economics and farm business management. So I have all the stuff that a business major had, an economics major, but it had ag lean to it, I guess you would say.
Do you feel like that business training that you got has been useful to you?
Yeah, I mean, the most challenging thing we do now really is the management of financing, putting out a crop every year, and the economics of that. It's important to know the agronomy of it and the animal science of it, but if the bottom line doesn't work out, if the economics doesn't work out correctly, then you can do everything correctly, animal science wise and agronomy wise, but if it doesn't make money, you're not going to be in business very long. Yeah. So to me that's the most important thing is the economics of it and understanding the business side of farming. How
did you know you wanted to be a farmer?
I did not want to be. I was actively opposed to any type of farming all throughout high school. If you had asked me when I was a sophomore in high school, I would have said I would do anything but farm, because I grew up on a farm. We had a huge amount of tobacco, a lot of manual labor, hand labor. The grain thing that we're doing now, so much of, wasn't really a big part of our farm at that time. We were mainly tobacco. We did have a few hogs and cattle. Now we're 90% grain and 10% cattle. And but when I went to UK, I got a couple of internships, traveled all over the state and worked with different groups. And after I kind of saw that side of it, I decided that I wanted to come home and farm, because I like the idea of being my own boss. I understood that I did not want to do the same thing every day. And that just suited my personality much better to do that.
Excellent. What are some special skills that people in your line of work need to possess? Either skills or personality traits?
I think that's what I was going to say. It's more characteristics than it is exactly skills. It would be nice if you were a great welder and a great plumber and a great electrician. And my dad is a lot of those things. I'm not as much that way. But I think the most important thing is that you have time management skills, that you're a self-starter, that you self-motivated, because you don't have a boss. You don't have someone that says, this is what you have to do today. When you wake up in the morning, you can say, I can go fishing today, or I can do all these things that I have to do. And that's the thing that was the biggest change. It's kind of like when you go from high school to college, when you've got a teacher in high school that's telling you, I need this and this and this, and in college, they don't care if you can show up or not. Yeah. And so if you're successful, and that's another reason I think it's important to go to college, is because you learn to take care of yourself, and you learn to be your own motivation in a lot of ways. So I think that's the most important thing. It's good to also have some skills about taking care of your own finances and paying attention to those things. But just determination, stick-to-itiveness, I guess is a word.
Yeah.
But those are the things that really make it. It's not going to be easy every day.
Yeah.
But it is very rewarding that you can see what you've accomplished at the end of the day.
But you have to be the driving force when you're the boss. You have to be the.
And there's days that it's cold or it's hot or whatever it is, and if you're good enough at your time management. If it's 100 degrees, a lot of times I take a nap that afternoon.
Yeah.
I'll work early in the morning, I'll work late at night. And so you can do some of that, but you have to be disciplined enough that
be
you
ahead
can.
of the game.
Yeah, I'm a list maker. I have lists on my phone. I have lists on the refrigerator in the shop. I have lists on paper in my pocket. I have lists for cattle and for grain, and that's and I know what I have to do, and I knock them out. The most important thing first, and you have to continuously do that and not let stuff slip by.
That's great. Were there things you did in high school that prepared you for this career?
Yes, I was very active in FFA all 4 years. Actually, was state FFA officer in college. I was also involved in a lot of other classes and clubs in there, and all of those just gave you that ability. And people skills are something that I think is very important. That and the more stuff you're involved with, the more you're exposed to, I think the more successful that you'll be. And that's important in ag too. I sell a lot of freezer beef to people, and you have to be able to talk with them and be sincere and be honest and show them that you're doing things the right way if you're going to be successful in selling bulls to other farmers or meat to consumers.
Is there anything you wish you had done in high school or early on to get a leg up in your career?
I wish that I'd had the opportunity to take college classes. Like my daughter is doing that now, and that's a great thing. I went into UK with no credits. I was at zero, and I did just kind of the bare minimum in high school, and I wish I had done more of that. I was smart, but I didn't do any. I didn't have very good grades coming out. I was a B student, and I should have been an A student. I should have spent more time, applying myself to that and getting those college credits and things. I'm sure they were available. It's just that I didn't take them, and I don't know if they're as available as they are.
Yeah, we definitely
now.
have a ton available now for kids to take advantage of. So then, finally, what's one piece of advice you have for someone interested in your career field?
You need to try to find somebody that you can go work on the farm, if you can at all. And you may have to volunteer and help do stuff. I have high school kids all the time that come and want to work on the farm. It's not like it was when I was a high school kid. We don't do a lot of square bale hay. We don't put up tobacco. There's not a lot of jobs that I can hire people to do. And if you want to come ride in the combine with me and I explain how all this works, and then slowly that may work itself into a job. But I get kids that come in and they want to run the bush hog or run the combine or drive a truck, and it just doesn't work that way.
Right.
I can't set somebody in $200,000 tractor pulling a $200,000 implement and say good luck.
Right.
You have to be trained and you have to do that. But in order to do that, and I can do a lot of stuff with cattle, with people, and but you need to get involved and see if it's something that you like, and try to, even if you're not interested in ag, with the current job market. I mean, you know how many kids are graduating, smart kids that have got college degrees that can't find a job. Something that they may not look at, that may not have looked at, their interest, even if it's pharmaceuticals or medicine or whatever that is, there's an ag portion to almost any job that you can think of. And those jobs are in high demand right now, and there's a lot of employers there that have got opportunities, and so it's something that you can look at as an option when you go to college. Because if you went to UK, when I was there's 24,000 students, I think, and I'm sure it's much more than that now. But the ag college back then was only 700 students. That was about the size that Taylor County High School was at that time. And so when you get into those colleges, especially if you go in with 15 hours. You've got all your main campus stuff out of the way. It's not an overwhelming thing to get to the ag college, and you can find something that interests you. I think in the ag college that would maybe a better job opportunity than what you've had in the past, or what is in other aspects of the job market.
Well, that's great advice. I think that's something I always try and stress to the students is find a mentor or find someone who's interested in doing what you're doing and see what they're willing to teach you. Even if you're not getting paid a cent for it, you're getting valuable experience that somebody else might not be getting.
It's just as important that if you are interested in it, if you've never done it, I had a cousin that wanted to be a nurse all of her life, went through all of the stuff, and like second year nursing student, and finally got to see live action and hated it and has never done it since. So, it may be something that you love. It may be something that once you get into it that you don't like. So, you don't need to go through a whole bunch of training and schooling if it's something that you're not going to be interested in. And it may be something that interests you that you never thought would.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for your time. We
I'm glad to do
appreciate it. And this is Chad Sullivan of Sullivan Farms, and he's telling us a little bit about what it's like to have a career as a farmer.